We got Raphael Assuncao back here on the program who is having lunch right now, but I appreciate him taking the time. And of course, he has his rematch against Marlon Moraes at UFC on ESPN Plus 2 on February 2nd. Raphael, how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. I just finished a training session, and I'm just preparing my small meal here. The wife had it ready for me.
That's great. And it's, of course, you're in the swing of fight camp. How nice is it to have your wife cook some meals for you? I'm sure that takes some time away from you having to do it yourself.
Yeah, yeah. She does it every you know. Actually, when it gets like a couple weeks close to the fight, then portion control is the primary. As far as the diet goes, there's more portion control type of food, and a lot less sodium. So I don't have a lot of the what's the right way to explain? I don't have the all the quirks of dieting and I see people having all kinds of systems, and I think in my opinion, it just eat right. I reduced the sodium by about 90%, maybe 85% of the sodium that I consume, and portion control, and just eat the right stuff, man. And train a lot. You gotta keep the calories burning.
Yeah, and on that note of weight cutting, what did you think of TJ Dillashaw dropping down to 125? Did you see his weight cut yesterday?
He made the weight. That was pretty cool. I mean, he made the weight. That was I can't make 125. I
Right,
just
yeah.
put it that way. I don't know if I should give him props or I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, no,
I
no, for sure. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I I couldn't make 125. And I'm not the biggest guy in the world. I just know I couldn't make the weight. But he made it. Nice. Cool.
Let's talk about you, though. Obviously, big news is that you re-signed with the UFC. Was there ever a point you thought that you wouldn't be back with the UFC, or were you pretty confident you will get a deal done?
Yeah, well, I think I was always pretty confident. Just staying with the UFC. I think we had some other offers on the table. Um, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but
Fair enough. You can just leave it at other offers. I mean, I'm sure you were sought after with your record and the opponents you've beat. I mean, you're a highly ranked bantamweight.
yeah, yeah. And we everything played out okay. The I had a lot of questions. Oh, why you taking the rematch? And I'm sure it's gonna be probably one of your questions. Why take the rematch? And as for me, it was all good negotiations. Danny Rubenstein, my manager, kind of, we sat and we were able to discuss, and it worked out okay, man. Worked out okay. In my mind, let's go to work. Focus on Marlon right now, and then we go from there.
Yeah, did it bother you at all that people said that he won the fight, and all this stuff? Because you got your hand raised, and it was definitely a close matchup. But did that bother
Right.
you at all when people said that he should have won the fight?
No, it didn't bother me. Didn't bother me much. Excuse me. Okay, let me get my battery here. It didn't bother me. Look, when I always say that in most of my interviews, I'm very self-critic of my, you know, fighting style. Like if I feel I will lost the fight, I was like, hey man, that was a bad decision. I'm very honest guy as far as that goes in my career and just who I am. Um, I thought I won the fight. I landed the better shots. Uh, just like the TJ fight when I fought him in Brazil. It was a close fight. He tried to throw some kicks. He took me down. I had his neck for a moment. Just some quick reminiscing of because everything is kind of in my mind, right? I know exactly what happened. Um, Even that fight, I thought I won the fight. People are not very impressed with maybe my style. I mean, I'm not either. You know.
Hmm. But you get the job done, and the win, and I mean, no one can say that you don't fight tough opponents. And if you look at the guys that you fought, that's about as tough of a run as you could have in the UFC.
I keep winning the fights, man. Like I say, I'm very self-critic. If you ask me, hey, man, do you love your fights? I say no. But I keep proving myself wrong. I keep, going forward. I keep winning the fights. And there's not much else you can do. If you're winning fights. You know, I don't want to curse anybody's mom, but I,
Okay. Do you see any improvements from him since the first fight you guys had? I mean, the rematch, or the first fight, I should say, wasn't that long ago. So I imagine, there hasn't really been much change as far as your preparation for this fight, I would imagine.
yeah, I mean, look, I look at it where, we always improving, as an athlete, and the hype. Uh, he's coming off a pretty good run on his last 2 or 3 fights after I fought him. Um, you know, I think he put a lot of time, practicing. I mean, you can't say it was a fluke because he did it. He did the same move. He did it. So it's cool. I'm a big fan of the sport in general, and I see him as a progressing athlete, as well as um, I see myself. I feel I'm still improving as an athlete, and that's my main goal right now, is to, especially especially at a high level. It's so the fine tune, and I look at it as just like my race car. It's so fine tuned. Everything's gotta be. It's not much different. It's a little fine tuned, um, and I feel it's gonna be a different fight, but I feel I will adjust to any other style like I've always had.
Okay. And training camp, have you kept things primarily the same? Just training with your brothers, and obviously getting a little bit of cross training in as well.
Yes, correct. That's correct.
Okay, that's
Yep.
good. So, and speaking of which, is Freddie back training now? Because I know he had that injury the last time I actually saw you, which was in July.
Yeah, Freddie is at what is he at 6 month period right now on his knee. So at 6 months period, he started boxing. He started to box and to move around. Um, he's feeling strong. I mean, he was pretty unfortunately to have that experience of having 3 ACL surgeries. That's eh, I couldn't say that will be a good experience, but he does have that experience where he knows how to, you know, get back.
Persevere and push through it. I mean, it's pretty incredible that he's still able to push forward. So I think that's great.
3 of them, yeah. But yeah, he's doing good, and he's my one of my he's pretty much my primary um, partner, he travels with me, and Junior as well, but Junior has a different gym right now, and he's not as present as Fred is right now, when it comes to so close to the fight. Freddy schedules all my training. I have a little bit of a deal. I have a deal with Freddy. He schedules and arranges all my training.
Oh, cool.
Pretty
Okay, that's
pretty
handy.
much. Pretty
Yeah,
much. Yeah, yeah.
that's good. Do you still work with the Lima brothers at all?
Yeah, sometimes just as friends, and like I said, when it comes close to the fight, so specific, the size, so it does it. Yeah, and Jucal, which is
Of
Juan
course, Juan Carnero.
Carnera,
Yeah.
uh, he's such a good energy, and I think he's fighting next week in Russia, and we are always in touch. Um, but we don't train every day anymore like the former team that we used to have. Just because it's so specific now. They're a little bit bigger. I've got like the smaller guy crews and stuff.
Okay. Who's going to be heading down to Brazil with you for the fight?
Yeah, I have Freddy's coming down, and then my boxing coach is coming down with us. And then I'll meet my other coach in Brazil, and my dad is over there.
Great. That's good. Are you expecting a lot of family out for this fight because it is in Fortaleza?
Yeah, we're gonna have family. We're gonna have family over there. I don't know who's gonna be there. Because at first everybody was gonna go, like the whole family, but now it kind of shrunk down who's going, and um, I think people's got stuff to do. But I'll probably head down to Recife after the fight, so I'll go to my home city right after.
Great. That's going to be awesome. How do you see this fight playing out on the second? Obviously, you feel like you're going to win the rematch, but how do you see the fight unfolding?
Yeah, man, I see, a technical fight. I don't see either one of us kind of going crazy out there, and I think a finish will come naturally from either party, right? Because look, I gotta be realistic. In this fight game, anything can happen, right? So I don't see any either him or I don't see us rushing anything. I think it's gonna be a pretty technical fight. Uh,
Has the UFC said anything to you about the winner of this fight? Because I imagine that this has to be the number one contender fight. I would think for TJ's title, just because of the fact that this isn't a main event and it's a high rematch.
I think so, man. And I said that previously as well, where Dana didn't, he didn't send me a contract. Hey, man, you're the winner definitely, because nothing is guaranteed, as we all know. Um, in the sport, nothing's guaranteed. But in life, nothing is guaranteed, let alone in the sport of MMA. Um, but I feel pretty confident the winner will get the rematch. Finally, if I want to win this fight again, then I can kind of sit and relax. If I and kind of just wait and sit around and get back into the horse and get to my ultimate goal.
For sure. Yeah, you got to settle that trilogy fight, I think, because you guys have had two fights already, so it'd be good to see the third.
It's gonna be nice. I'm focused on the task ahead now. I'm
Of
focused
course.
on
Yeah.
on
Yeah. Not
Marlon,
looking past Marlon, of
as
course.
I always have been, very professional how I approach my all my fights, and this is no different. It's no different.
We're looking forward to it. It's coming up here February 2nd. It is UFC on ESPN Plus 2 in Fortaleza, Brazil. Rafael, always appreciate you taking the time, my man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Shout out, man, to all my training partners that made the effort to come help me day in and day out. They know who they are, and you can find me at Rafa Assuncao, literally at Rafa with a PH Assuncao. Give me a shout, all my fans, everybody.